Rising Venus signs, welcome to your work, career, and vocation read for July and August 2021. I am your reader, Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of DrawingTheCircle production since 1998, the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal. Hey, love doing these work, career, vocation reads. Nice break from all that twin flame soulmate madness, and quite literally get down to business. Now, this is what's called a 3 levels of power spread based on the work of Myss. We will be using her archetype deck here to get things started. Then we will back that up with Daughters of the Moon Tarot, the Mythic Tarot, and at the end, a healing mantra to help you heal your work, career, and vocation. Now, I do these regularly, so if you go back and watch your June and July read for work, career, vocation, you'll get probably a lot more about the 3 levels of power and the chakras involved, which I'll call out as I am inspired to. But just to save a little time and energy here, I'm going to forego that. There is a link in the description box, however, of Myss talking about the 3 levels of power. We are applying this particularly to your work, your career, and your vocation, what you do to survive, your creative energy input, you'll see, and your vocation, which really is your spiritual calling. Again, it'll come out as it needs to, but you can certainly go back, look at last month's, and it should bridge, maybe not seamlessly, but interestingly into this and next month's. Cool. So all I can ask for anybody watching any of my videos, right, is both feet on the floor. If you can, focus on your breath, if you will. It is a general read. And all the decks that I read are always in the bottom of the description box. If you want to book a reading for me, because I do work, career, vocation reads for clients all the time, find me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Deets in the description box, and certainly my book Words of Grace may come in handy now on Kindle, $9.99 USD. Is that enough explanation? I think so. Please take a nice deep breath. Because I really love doing these. I am a Virgo, right? So work, career, vocation just sort of hardwired into me energetically. So let's see what hits the table. Like I said, Myss. We're going to look at the 8th chakra aspects, the archetypal powers being developed in your work, career, vocation, and let's see what those are. Breathe. As I call upon my collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of life purpose through work, career, vocation, and the higher selves of all involved for the Aries collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. What are the dominant archetypes, like 8th chakras, in their work, career, vocation, which is also in their 8th chakra in terms of work, career, and vocation? Well, there's your work, for sure, that lower 3, your physical world, right? The work which you do to survive, survival intuition. What's going on in their career, right? Their creative intuition, right? The stuff that goes on behind their eyes. And what is the 8th chakra of their vocation, their spiritual calling, their 3rd level of power, visionary intuition, and all that. Well. Boy, do you have a very interesting combo here. Now, that's the thing. I put these in the title, so you know them before I do in some timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly way. You've got the monk nun, the messiah, and the networker. And that it's the networker in that level of power, I think, is very telling here. Now, I'm going to read what's on the cards here, but just to say, you've got 2 divine family archetypes and a creative family archetype. Very much a pivotal point in your life, but with archetypes there's shadow and light, toxic and healthy, lead and gold. So regardless of what's going on in your work, career, vocation, from your soul's point of view, this is about you incarnated to develop these particular powers in these 3 ways. The monk nun, which I very much have been relating to lately. You can have an archetype for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. So in your work, the shadow attribute, negative judgment of the physical world and excess piety. I get that. I get that. What we've been through the past, what, now, year and 6 months, 7 months? Yeah. It's been nuts. It's changed our work in the world maybe forever, right? We've all had to grow and evolve. So, you know, this might just be for a reason. It's like, no, I don't want to deal with anybody out there. Not the hermit archetype, which is also in this deck, but the monk nun, excessive piety, like really holding back out of negative judgment of the world. Well, they're all fucking nuts out there. Right? You get what I'm saying? Fucking nuts. The light attribute, though, selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit. So if you've got this in your work, right, what you do to survive, then your spirituality is just key to this. But single-minded dedication to spirit, that's interesting, but it does make sense with the Messiah in your second level of power, the personal level, really governing the heart, third eye, and crown. But in the 8th chakra, the shadow attribute of the Messiah I come across all the time with the self-employed. And I am self-employed, so I know this one. Exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. No, I'm a Virgo. We're, again, sort of hardwired for that, not in a good way. Right, well, if I don't get it done, it won't get done. It's like this far away from the martyr. But the light attributes serving humanity with humility. And speaking of my book, Words of Grace, the very first grace I talk about in my book is the maiden grace of humility. To know that you don't know, but that you're willing to be shown, and that the divine gives you what you need to know, moment by moment, not always what you want to know. So to say, okay, I don't know my way through this. I just know that my work in the world, I have to really single-minded dedication to my spirit, which is absolutely can be about being in service to the world. This feels very light work or star-seedy, if star-seedy. I think I made a new word. It was so star-seedy. But to serve humanity with humility, that lights you up on the inside, heart, third eye, crown. Yeah. So these are the powers being developed with the networker in your vocation, your spiritual calling. Now, the shadow of this is going to be obvious. The light of it is delightful. Shadow attribute conveys information only for personal gain, but spreads fear and falsehood. I think we've all been dealing with. Can we leave that on the table and move on? On a macro level. The light attribute enhances unity, like fifth dimensional unity consciousness, through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. Now, feeling the energy on this, it does feel like you are getting messages from higher places, right? So if you can just say, all right, heart, third eye, crown, I don't really need to understand exactly what this is right now. I'm just being given what I need moment by moment so that I can really dedicate myself to at least the spirit of what it is that I want to do in the physical world, right? So this is the physical, this is the mental, emotional, psychological, and this is the spiritual. So those are the powers that your soul is developing through all of this, by hook or by crook, as my mother would say. Oh, I'm going to be driving up to see her for her birthday, Cancerian, right? So just arranging that. I'll take my cameras with me. You know how I roll. And if you don't, this is how I roll. All right, Daughters of the Moon Tarot will represent the heart, third eye, crown chakra, right? So get what we're doing. We're looking at how to get it from the 8th chakra down into the root, but it's got to go through your psychological energy field. So please take a nice deep breath. As I call upon my goddesses of fire and the sign of Aries, please can I have 3 cards, 3 Daughters of the Moon Tarot. Show us the internal dynamic, the yin-ternal dynamic, the divine feminine aspect of the work, career, vocation for the Aries collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading. They've got the monk nun in their work. So that's their heart, third eye, crown there. The Messiah in their career. Just leave it in my hands, please. Thank you. And the networker in their vocation. Oh, that one. Then that one. No. Please leave it in my hands. Because with that networker there, that's going to be pretty key with what's going on in their third eye. So please, in their vocation with the networker. Yeah, okay, that do make sense. All right. What? Well, 2 major arcana cards and the Virgo card. Okay. The monk nun, you've got the card of strength. Now, of course, strength, courage, very heart chakra, right? To be courage, mon amour, right? The French word for the heart is cœur, right? So whatever kind of strength that it takes for you to kind of deal with the world, right? Like, yeah, to do your spirit, to have the courage to trust in the love that is divine power, the sacred truth of the heart chakra, obviously means that you would be facing some negative judgments of the physical world based in fear, right? The wanting to pull back from the world because it's so crazy out there and people are so toxic. I'm going to just stay. Well, but then what's your work in the world, right? Your physical level of power, survival, intuition, lower 3 chakras, which will be the next 3 cards. But inside of you, it is opening the heart. It is having the strength. Perhaps your work in the world might be praying for everybody, right? Blessing everyone, which are not always the same thing. Many different types of prayer, right? Petitionary prayer, meditative prayer. Greg Braden does a really good take on that from the Essenes, the Dead Sea Scrolls, the five modalities of prayer. If you can find it on YouTube, it's lovely. Because in this Messiah, right, in your career, you got the Virgo card. Now, this doesn't mean you're a Virgo on the inside. You may have planets there. Great. Wonderful. How lovely for you, me being 4 planets in Virgo. Second house, right? What I really, truly value in my life. This is very much about health and occupation, right? Occupation, yes, of course, what you do in the world to make money, which is, of course, in this level of power going to be affecting that physical part of it. But it's what are you occupied with? Because it affects your health, right? My guide said to me so long ago, yeah, crackheads are occupied with crack. How's that affecting their health? I'm like, well, that makes sense, right? So with 2 divine family archetypes here, for you to be occupied, heart, throat, third eye, crown, and of course that's going to be affecting your work big time, with experiencing, occupying yourself with your own internal health. Now, as a Virgo, I could talk about Virgo energy forever, but I will say there's part of Virgo energy that is forever untouched by this world, eternally virgin. My virginity grows back by sunlight. It's cloudy today. I've been telling that really bad joke for years. And in your career with the networker, it was like that card that was in my hand. I was like, no. I could just feel it. No. With the networker, you've got justice, Ma'at. That's why, right? That is the T right there. It's like the idea of conveying information only for personal gain. Spiritually, it's like, that's not me, right? Blah, it makes you want to throw up in your mouth. Spreading fear and falsehoods, absolutely not with Ma'at. Now look up Ma'at, and if you watch the first season of American Gods on Stars, played by man. I thought that was interesting, but whatever. Casting, not that kind of casting, like, yeah. But enhancing unity through the sharing of information and gender, social awareness, and empathy. Yeah, rock on. That's your calling in this. So to be able to do that, to serve humanity with humility, occupying yourself, with your own healing. What are you occupied with? Like, really look at that word. Look, when somebody occupies a space, what does that mean? They're not just there for a second, right? What is your mind occupied with here? That is affecting your internal psychological health here. So that really, that strength, that the grace of fortitude in the heart chakra, words of grace, as well as the work of Carolyn Myss, which also rhymes. This is lovely. And look, this is absolutely about making money in the world, right? Because it's by bringing these 8 chakras into alignment, and at least you're in alignment, yes, with the divine plan. You always are in one way, shape, or form. With your soul's purpose, your mission, whatever you want to call it. But you need to survive here. You know, there's a chapter in my autobiography that I've been talking about with a dear friend called Doing Time in the New Age. I started my career in the spiritual industry, and let's not kid ourselves, it's an industry, back in the 80s, working in a crystal store in Porter Square, Massachusetts, right? And I've seen a lot of crazy, and I've seen a lot of ungrounded people saying, well, if it's meant to be, it'll come. Yeah, but you got to play the game too. You got to be in the world. So I get with that monk nun, I can absolutely relate. I mean, literally, I'm wearing my blessing cords. When I'm not on camera, I'm pretty much in a bathrobe. And when that archetype came up for me, I was like, oh, I'm in monk mode, which I kind of like. I kind of like it a lot. Anyway, let's look at the physical aspects of this, or at least the root, sacrum, solar plexus stuff. This is where the money comes in. Second chakra is all about money, creativity, sexuality, and all that. Breathe. Well, that feels nice. Let's say that. That feels nice. And please, my gods of fire and the sign of Aries. 3 cards to clarify the root, sacrum, solar plexus aspect for this Aries collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading in terms of their work, career, vocation, really their life purpose, brought into 3 levels of power. In their work, they've got the monk nun in the 8th, and the strength card, heart, third eye crown. There's the root, sacrum, solar plexus. In their career, they've got the Messiah archetype with Virgo on the inner. What's going on the outer here for them? A little clarity. Yeah, it's that one. Yep, ding! And in their vocation, that really mystical networker with Ma'at, weighing the hearts against a feather to see if you got to reincarnate or move on. Of course, there's a version of the Egyptian Book of the Dead where if your heart is heavier than the feather, your soul gets eaten by a demon, but I don't really think that's how it is. Translations, right? Lost in Translation. Bill Murray? Is that a Bill Murray movie? They just flashed him in my eyes. Okay. So in their vocation here, networker in the 8th, justice on the inner, what's on the outer. So this is the part where people really can kind of get, oh yeah, this is what's going on physically, and well, that all do make sense. 2 court cards and a minor arcana, so we're not seeing great, big, huge, but I think you're going to like what's going on here in your work. The monk nun in the 8th, right? Excessive piety, or single-minded devotion to spirit, and remember it's a sliding scale, with courage, mon amour, right, to follow the heart, for the heart to be open. And what does it take to open your heart? A lot of courage. Well, you got the King of Wands, the Aries card. I mean, the Mythic Tarot, Juliet Sharman Burke made it very clear what zodiac sign is connected, so we're not looking at, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is Aries, all right? This is absolutely the Aries card here. So this is you, being authentic in this world and absolutely initiatory. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. What does the word initiate mean? I mean, I thought it had to do with Bing cherries and elephant walks and frat boys, but they have to go through what? The hazing, right? The pledge week, whatever, so that they can be initiated into the frat, the tribe, what have you. But it does mean to begin. So it feels like, yes, there is a new beginning here for you in your work in the world, but it's coming from a place of single-minded devotion to the opening of your heart in some mystical, well, let's say spiritual way. It's a divine family archetype there. Right, I would think praying for the world would be part of that in some way, shape, or form. Cast, pray, envision, whatever it is that you do. And I see that very much here in your career with the Messiah in the 8th, the Virgo card, what you're preoccupying yourself, as well as healing within yourself with the Page of Cups. Now, yeah, this could be an emotional message, an offer of love, but really this is Narcissus. Greek myth. Long story there. It's the root of the word narcissist, but that's not really what this is. This is about self-reflection, right? Literally staring into, well, not so much the lake and then turning into the flower, but into that cup. This is self-love. This is giving love to yourself. Like in this particular, in terms of your career, and it does make sense. What better on the outer to open up that occupation, that health, that humility for serving humanity that then gives you the courage to be completely authentic with that Page of Cups. Now, the pages are immature, but that doesn't mean infantile. It just means, the best metaphor I know, within every acorn is an oak tree. It's an immature oak tree. But if you plant it and it lives its full lifespan, which is hundreds of years, it will shed billions, if not trillions of acorns in its life cycle, right? So it's just the beginning, and this is emotionally for you. And that might be something just as simple as catching yourself during the day. Whatever it is that you're doing in the world when you can, noticing what's going on inside of you and self-service, putting your hand on your heart or wherever you're feeling it and saying, it's okay, honey, I love you. I love you. This is part of the work too. That if we're feeling it, it's safe to feel it. It's part of our career. Now, if you are an artist, that's essential. Because yes, artists want feedback from the outside world and often validation. This is self-validation. Saying that, hey, I don't know, I'm in humility here, I'm doing the best that I can, I want to serve, and that's why serving humanity with humility and the Virgo card, the sign of service, with this self-reflection, self-love, giving the love to yourself that only you can give yourself. And believe me, that's part of our contracts overall in this world, is to learn how to give ourselves the love that only we can give us, including that validation. You're doing a great job, right? Even if it's just looking in the mirror, literally, as you pass on a guy, going, keep going, kid, I love you. You know, like that. That's a really good start. And you can have fun with this. Like, I know the monk and the Messiah seems very serious, but here in your vocation, the networker with Ma'at, right, trying to bring this into balance, trying to be fair about things, to keep your heart light, which is throughout the rest of the reading here. And with the Four of Swords, we're talking about meditation. We're talking about going inside. We're talking about really finding that balance within yourself in terms of the balance of the fears of your ego, which are understandable in the shadow and all of this, and the love of your soul. Look, when the head and the heart are out of balance, the throat chakra has a hard time making choices, right? So this is about bringing the mind and the heart into balance by making empowering choices. And it feels like the externals from the outside looking in here, this is about you really going within, taking some meditation time. Now, I've got more meditation processes, and I have to do that every day. But because I have, like, I don't know, a Costco size vault of spiritual practices over my very long-term career in the spiritual industry, I know it's a horrible way to say it, but it is what it is, then I can mix it up, right? The Virgo, mutable earth, I can totally mix that up for what serves me. So in other words, I don't do the exact same process every single day. I might do a week of it, right? And that's part of the creativity that I'm feeling here for you as well. This is lovely. This is lovely. Starseed, light worker, I mean, whatever you want to call yourself. I'm a witch, but I'm Lyrian. Cope. A little touch of Pleiadian in there too after the planet exploded. It's so very son of Krypton, Mal-El. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's fine. It's fine. Oh, honey, I used to work for Solara, the spiritual teacher, not the Toyota, but I drive a Toyota, but it's a RAV4. Yeah, breathe. Just, we're gonna get you just one. I could get you 3 for these. Oh, what the hell? Why not? Breathe. We're not gonna book these then. Okay, as I call upon the Ascended Masters of Work, Career, and Vocation, Life Purpose through Work, Career, and Vocation, please, 3 cards. The Perfect Healing Mantra. Mantras, plural. For the Aries collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, that will help them, right? Heal the world, right? Heal themselves, heal their work, career, vocation. July and August 2021 for their work, for their career, for their vocation. Okay. I do have my eyes closed because they don't all have the same backing, right? Oh. Okay, well, this makes total sense. The monk nun, now keep an eye on that shadow, right? Negative judgment of the physical world, excess piety, like I said, because of fear, and here's the courage on the inner, and you really being authentic, the Aries card on the outer, overcoming fear. I will transcend every loss, and you will. You will. It's inevitable. There's no breaking the cycle of gain and loss in this world. To give and to receive are one in truth. Course in Miracles, right? It's all given together. So it feels like every time you give something away that there's a loss, and yet there is a gain simultaneously. So you will overcome your fears here by really look back over your life. You have not had the same job. You have lost jobs, you have found jobs, you have lost coworkers, you have made new coworkers, right? Ventures, projects come and go. You will transcend them because in the physical part of your work, you are upgrading. There is definitely an upgrade here. An evolution in terms of you initiating into the world your own authentic stuff. I will transcend every loss. In your career, this is going to be seriously the tricky one, and I think you're going to love the last mantra here. Messiah in the 8th, Virgo on the inner, very much that inner healing and occupation with self-reflection and befriending pain. Now, not a fun one, but when discomfort becomes a friend, my most limiting beliefs are healed, and I feel like we're talking about mental, emotional discomfort. You are healing yourself. So I think we're really talking about emotional pain here with the heart chakra vibe that seems to be woven through this. Yeah, if you are an artist and you are not getting the recognition, if people are not seeing and experiencing your value and it ain't paying your bills, it'd be very painful. But I tell you, that's more about the past than the present. And it's lined up in the present so that you can heal this within yourself. And just remember that thing is self-validation. Because it's here. It's here in your vocation, the networker in the 8th, Ma'at, the Justice card on the inner, 4 of Swords on the outer, directing you back within, untangling neglect. I take the time to give myself all the approval I desire. It is exactly what I was talking about here, that like passing by the mirror and going, you're kicking ass, I don't care what anybody else says, kid. And use that word kid, like talk to that child of your heart. Because if some of you, an artist is a huge archetype, right? Like there's a cook, there's a chef. Doesn't mean either one of them are an artist, but it can be, right? Like a culinary artist can be someone who has never worked a day in food service in any way, shape, or form. But when they put it together, right, it is a work of art. But of course that can be in any way, shape, or form here. But to serve in humility, let me put it together for you. It'll just be easier this way. Please take a nice deep breath. My collective pantheons of the divine, please may the Aries collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, be blessed with all that they need in their work, career, and vocation, July and August 2021, that in their vocation, they may enhance unity through the sharing of information, spiritual information, engendering social awareness and empathy with great balance in their inner world as they focus within untangling neglect, taking the time to give themselves all the approval they desire so that in their career they can serve humanity with humility, being occupied, being clear about what they're being occupied with on the inner, their own healing, right? How what they occupy themselves with absolutely affects their health in this time of interior reflection from the outside looking in, contemplating their own navel quite literally here in this card, as well as they befriend pain, because when discomfort becomes a friend, their most limiting beliefs are healed so that in their work with the monk nun that they can have and experience their selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit, activating that courage within them, that strength that is of the soul more than the personality, to open their hearts and be brave and be authentic to the truth of who they are, balls to the wall when the world needs that more than ever, to initiate new things, understanding that whatever may come, whatever may go, that they will overcome fear and transcend every loss, because we all do. And the speed of that really does come at the speed of how willing are we to bring ourselves into balance by giving ourselves the love that only we can give us. May they be so blessed in their work, career, vocation, for their well-being, for the well-being of planet Earth, and for the well-being of all. So motivated. And so it is. There you go. Did you like it? Like it. Want more? Subscribe. Want a comment? Comment. Want a reading? Book me. Want to read my book? Click the link. $9.99, cheaper than a pack of cigarettes, and much more bang for your buck. And it's in my voice, and it's a prayer book, and it's really part of my service to the world. But I wrote that during a dark night of the soul in my career. It's what eventually brought me to doing YouTube readings on my channel, which I had already have, and I still have tons of spiritual teaching stuff from being a spiritual teacher and a minister. Yeah. So every day is a winding road, but we do get a little bit closer, my beloved Aries. So wishing you the very best and the very blessed in your work, career, vocation. July, August 2021, my beloveds, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.